I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse.
I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually.
Good Will Hunting.
West Side Story. That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful.
Nope, not true. What you just said, that's gobbledygook.
Now, they had this ad that came out.
This is Hollywood producer.
Y'all, this is so cringe. If y'all haven't seen it, it is the most cringe thing I've ever seen. About men supporting women.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare.
Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
I ain't afraid of bears.
That's what bear hugs are for.
And I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women.
They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies? Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like.
Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
Man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse.
I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually.
Good Will Hunting.
West Side Story. That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful.
That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have families.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
Gross.
I mean,
was
really?
that not the most, y'all, that was gross. You see this? Man enough to get emotional in front of my wife.
I mean,
Ugh.
this is what they want men to be.
It
They
just
want them
makes
just to
me
be,
sick.
weak. You
That
know,
just makes me sick.
no point of view, overly emotional.
It's kind of like those white dudes for Harris people. Like, just I
You're
want
trying to
follow
manipulate
a
it
woman.
with the men who look like they're cowboys and stuff. Get over yourself, okay? No, real men do
Yeah,
not think
stop
like
it.
this at all.
Stop it. It's just so infuriating. I don't even know what to say. That is the most, that was like a minute and a half of just like, give me a barf bag.
But if you can see my point though, this administration, they lecture men.
Yeah. A lot.
All the time.
But need the man vote.
They need the man vote, but they are always lecturing women. When she was on that podcast, Call Her Daddy, they were just sitting there talking crap about men.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what they do. They lecture men at every chance they get, and then they wonder why, and Tim Walz is like this. This was the whole reason she chose Tim Walz, is because they thought he gave him a Midwestern guy that hunts, and they thought, but then he was going to act just like them. I'm still going to vote for women because I'm, a powerful man that's not intimidated by a woman. It's not about you being intimidated by a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think most men are.
They're not.
They can be annoyed by women, but I don't think they're intimidated by women. This idea that men are just intimidated by a woman because she wants to go to work is odd. You know what I mean? It's just, that's not it. They just don't like her. And then there's the flip side of this with feminists. Mm-hmm. So you're saying that she's not the same as other people.
Yes.
Which is my point.
Yeah.
She's not. You know what I mean? But what you're saying is that you have to vote for her or else you're a misogynist pig.
Right.
But if she were a man, she wouldn't have this on her shoulders at all. So you can vote for a man however you want. You can call him names. You can put him down. You can say, if there were two men sitting here.
Yeah.
But when it's a woman, you can't put her down. You can't say anything that's, real edgy or makes her look bad. You have to, again, make women feel good.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No one does a video like this for men.
But but the fact that they thought that was genius and kind of like badass, because that's how they were trying to market that. That's kind of like, these men are so strong that they're going to follow women. Does that make any sense to you just in a sentence? Men following women? I don't think so.
And what you want to bet
Like,
that
what?
these men aren't really what they're portraying. That's not a real cowboy. That's not.
No, probably
these are just
actors.
actors in
They're
Hollywood.
probably
Because I think
actors.
a Hollywood producer
Yeah.
put this together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are just men who are told to act very masculine and then say something, that contradicts the way you look.
I guarantee you there's probably an audition somewhere in there for these parts.
You know,
I bet there's we need some cowboys, and we need an older man, and we need I just know.
Again, no policies.
Yeah.
But all all
visual.
things that have to do with visual.
Yeah. This is their game plan, y'all. This is the big master plan.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When Hillary Clinton was running, it was the same way. You're not allowed to challenge women.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
If you challenge women, they suddenly they call you sexist, misogynist. They just do that. And you're just allowed to do that, and then you don't get to say anything back. How can you have a debate, or how can you have a sort of meeting the mind or battle of ideas if you can't say your ideas because your ideas make someone's feelings get hurt?
Right.
That's not a real election. That's not how things are done.
Yep, it's true.
You know, and so to me, this is why, again, this is why I kind of feel like women are just a distraction when it comes to stuff like this. It's not that women, I think I'm a smart woman. I don't like to sit around saying that, but I think I'm a smart woman. I have an opinion. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not a weak person. You know, I have my moments where I cry, or I have emotional, but I don't feel that I'm a weak woman. But I don't think that I need to be the head of the country, or I need to be bossing men around and telling them how, that isn't, you're not strong because you think that you can beat men.
So when we say, so whenever this topic comes up and we say this, right, that we don't believe that women should be running nobody's free world, or the leader of the free world, I don't think so, right? Or just leading in this capacity. We get so much criticism from all women. I'm not talking just liberal women, you guys. I'm talking about just from Republican women too, because they don't like hearing that, because we're in 2024 where anyone who says that they think that men should lead in this capacity, at least, should lead and shouldn't be women gets very annoyed, because we're in 2024 now, and they can't believe there's people who still have the kind of like older traditional kind of like values when it comes to this. And the thing is that it's not, what always gets me whenever I have these debates with women on this is that I am not insulting women. I am a woman, all right? Karen and I have a show. We clearly are okay with giving our opinions, okay? We're not two weak souls up here just, scared to death of men and we want to just follow. No, we're not saying that. It's just that I feel like when women don't understand, when you are trying to lead over a man, that is just biblically incorrect. And I think that when we mess up our roles, I think it messes us up as people, as individuals. And I think that's why women are so mean now. I really feel like, this is a theory, all right? But I feel like the reason why women are so like upset now, bitter, angry, chip on their shoulder, attitude all the time, I'm talking about all women, by the way, not just black women. I think it's because we're out of our role. I do. I think it's because we're resisting our natural role, and because of that, and I think it's frustrating. And so we see a lot of angry, bitter women.
We went from supporting men to being in competition with
them.
them.
And I don't like that.
And it's tore up our country on every level. The way our children are raised, we've allowed the internet to raise our kids. They've taken women out of the home and they've put them in an office. And then these kids come home, they come home to television, the internet, and then now what we have, they're watching sexuality all day. And, it's just, more, even like when you go down to what kids are eating, things like that. Women used to cook and really cook really healthy meals. Now all of a sudden everything is McDonald's, fast food. Why? Because no one's home.
You are saying that your role as a woman is little, and I'm saying it's big. But for some reason you want to be on the same level as a man when that's not even like natural for you to do that.
To me, it's a lazy campaign. It was Hillary Clinton was lazy, Nikki Haley was lazy, and Kamala Harris is lazy. Elizabeth Warren was lazy, and the reason why is because they use their they use their sex to win. They don't use their ideas. everything's about being the only woman or being the woman. It's just like, no, if you're saying that you want to be in competition with men, you want to sit on the big stage with men, then you have to argue with them on that platform. You cannot argue with them with your sex because you're going to make it so they can't win at all. Because if they can't talk back to you because you're a woman, and they automatically lose because everything that they say sounds sexist, then that's, to me, is you're lazy. That's a lazy campaign. Yeah. Because you have no ideas. You just want to be hoisted up to the top because you want to win.
Right.
And that makes me wonder why you need to be president.
Right.
You don't need to be president if that's how you feel.
I just don't think it's
right. You know what I mean? The women who probably could do it, like a Tulsi Gabbard, or Carrie Lake. Those women are never going to win because they make too much sense.
They're always if a woman ever wins the presidency, it's gonna be
Nikki Haley.
Yeah, one of those.
It's gonna be look at they just think anybody. Oprah Winfrey can be president.
Yeah, so annoying.
Really?
Michelle Obama.
Just any woman that's professional can win.
But you see how absurd that is?
Like, and you know why they say that is because you don't have to have ideas as a woman. You just have to complain about being a woman in a race.
Which brings us all the way back to you need to stay in your role.
And this is why I don't want a woman to be president because I know that this is what it's going to be. And then as soon as she gets installed in, because she will get installed in, if she's president, a whole bunch of feel sorry for me policies are going to be injected into the country. Yeah. We're going to have all kinds of people from all over the world running through our borders. Yeah. Women are going to be reign king now. Everything that has to do, whether it be in the office or everything, is going to be, hoisted on women's rights.
Yep, it's true.
And it's going to ruin the country, and we're just going to have more generations of that. I mean, the whole reason a lot of Republican women probably don't like when I say things like women should be president is because you can't put that toothpaste back in the bottle now that it's open. But
I mean, we're here now.
Because we're here. I know that that's not going to happen. But what I'm just saying is that what has the sexual revolution and feminism really done to uplift women? You know what? I don't know anything. I mean, I don't like it.
When you put a woman in that kind of position, though, you get commercials like that. That ad. Yeah. That ad we just saw, I'm going to guarantee you it was orchestrated in some way by, or at least a thought process happened with women in the room. I can totally guarantee that. Right? I don't care who directed it. I don't care who executed that. I'm talking about the concept of that video was due to feminists within that party getting men to be more feminized because of us being conservative women. I think it's kind of shined a light on the roles of men and women. So when I see an ad like we just saw the ad, right, that makes me cringe. To a lot of women, liberal women, most liberal women, they probably think it's great. They probably think it's so cool, so great, right? And it makes me cringe.
Even as I got closer to God, I realized that my strength has nothing to do with me being my position as a woman doesn't make me a second-class citizen just because the order is a man over a woman. Right. It doesn't. I mean, me being smart, it doesn't mean that I'm not smart or that men are smarter than me. Yeah. It just means that that what I am, I have a different job and a different role. I bring to the world something different than men do.
That's important.
That is important.
Role
we
is
are
important.
losing women.
Yeah. Right.
We are losing women to feminism.
And what we're trying to do is contribute to the women who are being women, who are comfortable within the femininity, and who are uncomfortable with seeing men act like this, right? So we're just trying to have our contribution to that. So it does not mean that women are weak.
Like if you go to a women's march, you can walk around and ask them, why are you here? Most of them don't even know. Because they don't have anything to fight for because you can do what you want to do in this country.
Right. Yeah.
It's just anger. That's all it is. It's just fueled anger. It's kind of like what the party has done to black people. Just make sure they're always angry all the time.
That's the goal.
You know what I mean? And so because I'm not angry and because I don't feel like I'm not smart because I'm a woman and because I'm okay with telling men that I believe men need to be in a leadership role, that makes a lot of women uncomfortable.
Again,
and I don't understand
conservative women too.
Yeah, and I don't understand that. Right. You know what I mean? Because when you put someone at the top simply because they are a woman and you never saw it before, what's going to happen is what happened when we put Barack Obama in office. Yeah, is that you just put a black man in there because he was a black man. He didn't do anything but make things worse. Because they can use that against you. This is why a whole bunch of people are voting for Kamala Harris. A lot of women are voting for her. They're voting for her because she doesn't have any ideas.
Yeah.
And they're voting for her because she's a woman. That's it. I'm not a strong woman because I act like a man. I'm a strong woman because I act like a woman.
I keep saying
what
this.
I mean?
Is that
that's where my strength is.
Yeah.
It's not in trying to be something I'm not.
We said this a million times. You do not call a fish a swimmer.
Right.
A fish is a fish, and a fish just moves around in the water. You don't, okay? It's because the fish does not need a title. It does what it does. But when you start adding these independent woman, these words to it, it's not natural. Which is why you have to give it a title.
Call her daddy, slut walks.
Stupid,
all
man.
All the celebrity women act like
Miss me with all
whores.
that.
You know what I mean? It's just like, look what we've come. Look what the feminism has brought out.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing but anger.
Everything from, again, everything from slut walks to Cardi B to Hillary Clinton to Oprah Winfrey. Nothing good. Nothing good came from that. At all. Abortion, broken families. Yeah. That's what feminism brought. It has, to me, has created nothing good at all. It's really an abomination.